Welcome, I'm Bill Wake. We're working on a tool for financial planning, and we're to the point where we need a month and year picker. We had been doing things in terms of just month numbers, but that's not how anybody thinks about things really, or not very often. So we're kind of moving over to supporting the idea of a month and a year together. There's no built-in, like date picker doesn't have a version that can run just two columns. So we're building our own. I think UIKit maybe has one, but we're in Swift UI, and I'm not gonna fight it. Now we've mostly got the mechanics done, but we haven't tied it in so it produces any values. So we'll need to do that, and we need to make sure we can also return null. All right, so well, here's MonthYear view. And I don't know, it's a little horrendous. But what we've got is a picker for the year that lists all the years, some kind of manipulation so we can fit two pickers on one screen, and then a picker for the month. Now we've identified the real binding of what we need to produce is MonthYear question mark. We have our local variables that pick up the values you use in these. They make a nice clicky sound. And we've got all the values that get shown. All right. So I think what I want to add first is a variable for, I think I'm going to call it known. And I'm not sure if there's a better word. Unspecified is the other word we've used for other things. And is that belong in here? I guess it does. We want to produce MonthYear question marks. Is known equals true. Okay, and let's just stick another a toggle in and see what happens. Is on dollar is known. Is that enough? No. Dollar zone, yeah. I'm not sure what the problem would be. Failed to build. Build succeeded. Okay. Okay, well, that's a little, I don't know, we'll need a label. That's not a very good label. What am I doing wrong? Can't believe that should be necessary. Well, where are you putting it? Well, let's move it out. Well, I certainly don't want that. Okay. Oh. He's showing his own label like that. Well, oh, right. But I just want the toggle, not the label. I mean, I really want this to be this over top of it. Okay. Yeah. Let's see if somebody's got toggle style. No, I think you let me down here. Oh, I can put the text inside. Can I convert binding a bool to keypad text element binding a bool? Label expected sources is on. Oh, just is on. Okay. Oh, that makes sense. Since we're taking the text out here. Oh. Okay, what if I take all text out? Yeah. Nice, guys. Yeah, you're right. The pickers with the geometry, they're each getting half of the space they're allocated. But why do I have so much blank space for a toggle? Switch toggle style. helping. Ugh. Yeah, looks great there. That looks okay. Well, labels hidden. Yeah. Well, I guess that's what I should use. That's closer. Okay. I'll go back to my VStack. And a little padding. Yeah, I think that'll do it for now. Yeah, I don't think it's, I think I would, if I wanted to stick them in the geometry reader, I'd have to figure out the size of the toggle or how much space I wanted to give the toggle and then subtract that before I divide it, I think. No, I think what's really was going on is most toggles get put in forms. And so I think it automatically just puts the label and then a big space and then the value at sort of the right of its, the text on the left and the button forced all the way to the right because it looks good that way in a form. The labels hidden turns off that form label stuff, which even when it was blank, it still put the form space in. Okay, so yeah, I think that'll do it. All right, now I guess I wish. Well, I should say how. How can we make this? I would like to make this somehow improve this. Okay, I have this duplication. And I need geometry.size to calculate this stuff. I guess I can do, what do they call those? It's where you make your own little style modifier. Style modifier? I remember what they call them, but yeah, that's the right word. Okay. But you can define your own. View modifier. That's the one. Okay. Body of content. I don't know if we can pass two things to it. Watermark is a view modifier. Watermarked. Okay, so this gives you your new method for that. and this gives you the body of it. So it takes watermark with text string. Okay. So we can give that to the function. Okay, I can use this for an example or a model. What I don't think I can do much about this stuff because this one's iterating over a range of years. This one's iterating over a list of text, and they've got their own way of doing stuff. That seems just kind of the way it is. But this stuff, this is sort of my I don't know what to call this though. It's kind of a I don't know, half picker. Half size. Yeah, maybe half size. Okay, so let's define. It's a class or its own struct. Okay. Now the text of string is going to correspond to the size, geometry. Come on. Okay, CG size. All right. Oh, I should let it do it. No, I shouldn't. Okay. Our body takes content, produces a view. Function body, not a var. Okay. All right, if I just put the content and then let's put the extension. Well, I'll just take this and work with it. Oh yeah, Paul Hudson's great. I love going to his site. I mean, not every time, but often enough, he's got exactly the stuff to answer my question. So, okay, modified, half-sized. Half-sized with size. And welcome to okay. Now I think don't include articles. Okay. And I want this called half. Oops. Half size. Okay. Now, I think if I put this in first, now I'm not quite sure how this, well, it goes on the end of something. Okay. So I should be able to put dot half size with a size on here. Okay. Ooh, build failure. I think I can make that anonymous. Or maybe call it half. Yeah, half size. Okay. Right, and that's still the same, but now I can start moving these things in. Okay, so I should be able to pick the picker style. And then take that off. This one. Frame is size.width. Size.height. And clipped. And I read the notes a little closer. If you don't have that clipped, I think the scrolling space, maybe he said there was some mess up between these. They overlapped somewhere or something. I don't know. But we'll add it just to be sure. Okay, I think that helps some. I don't think, yeah, this is just too different, and this is different. So one's producing the text of the year, and the other's got the list of the months to buy, you know. All right. Now, oh boy. Okay. Do you now just apply the style and the content? Yeah, so it just looks like its own styler. And that's because that modifier thing, this lets you put any custom modifier on something, and then here it applies this modifier. This is your custom thing it's applying. So, interview with him with Chris Latner. Do you have a link for that, or where was that? The interview. Okay, so the thing we're not doing though is we're not writing to our bound value. So if anybody tried to use this, they wouldn't get a month year back. They just have the privilege of knowing that they've set all these factors. And also, I want known to do something. So I want this is disabled if not is known. Okay, so if I turn this off, this is, well, I don't know if it's any more gray, but it's not active. Hmm. Well, maybe I could put some opacity in too or something. Yeah, that's better. Yeah. Make sure that's still good. Okay. Yeah, so I think we're ready now. So, and I think, well, I believe the H stack will pick up. All right. So what's going on is when you set the known flag or any of these two wheels, the values for those get updated, but the overall one doesn't. So I'm going to put on changed. Now, and this is of, well, I don't know if we should, maybe I should do these one per thing. Each one changes its own thing. Oops. On change of is known. Now, can I do this one with no arguments? Swiftly speaking, 11. Okay, I'll take a note. All right, and Paul does like an incredible updates when things change. He's all over it. I know the 100 days of Swift, and like a quarter of that is very affected by the data stuff. And Swift did made him change a bunch of things, but he was right on it a lot faster than I can keep up with the lessons in it. Okay, on change of is known. Well, if maybe this is where the function comes in. Let's just say update values. Okay, and update values is if is known, do something else, month year equals nil. So if it's marked not known, we're going to return nil. Oh, Paul's YouTube channel. Okay. I wonder if I have him on my YouTube list. I have him on my blog, so when he posts stuff, I notice it, but I don't know if I have him for YouTube. I'll have to fix that. Okay, so now if this thing is known, then we want to set the month year equals month year. Where month is month number. And here is year number. Okay. And I don't know. I'm not sure the best way to do this, but on change of year number, we're going to update values. And I guess what I'm not sure is, am I better off putting them on the things that change, or would I be better just putting all three updates at the bottom? Oops. Month number, int.type. Oops. Month number. Okay. All right, so this thing Well, you know, I almost want to do this, is vstack. I don't know, it'll complain probably. Because it's nullable, not complaining, not doing it either. What's this little yellow bar? That's probably this. Yeah. Year 2025. Well, that's not working as well as I wanted. Let me take that out. Maybe I shouldn't do that here. Okay. 2025 was not promising, though I will say that. Okay. All right. So, well, we've got create a month year view component. All right, now this is all in service of this. Well, let's see what that does to it. And let's define him. Make it allow null. Yes, define a person creator. Okay, we didn't do that. Okay, well, I think we want a labeled component, just like the other. I don't know if it makes it too small. Name is required. Well, that's good. I don't know if I can type in the preview. Okay. And then I don't know if this should be, I think it should start out nil. It does. So why did it not? Oh, we have an init, self.monthYear. That's not binding though, is it? Oh, I should just not define it. Comparing non-optional value of binding a month year to nil. That's even worse. Dot wrapped value not equal nil. I guess I have to do it the other way. Default. Okay. Do I have to clear these? Is known wrapped. Oh, I guess it's wrapped bang. Dot month. Not bang. Well, that's kind of annoying. Not nil's not very descriptive. I don't know why I have to go through that little hoop. It's something about the way they initialize. I just never, I don't know, it feels like it'd be more flexible. I don't see any problem there. All right, let's go back. Well, I'll take build a second. Okay. Person view. Name. Now, I don't know how I... Right. Can I edit? Yes. It retains it. Well, it's not edited. That's fine. Okay, but then required text field. That's in here. It's this labeled content that helps put in a form. Birth date. I think I liked born better. Now that's really not. Yeah, it might be okay. I never know when I can interact. Okay, now I can type in here. Create button comes on. That's good. That's good. Now, born and died are... Okay, those are all going. But what does create do? Okay, well, I think that... that puts us to the point where we need to do the work. All right. So I think that gives us this, I don't know, this entry. This is that for now. We don't really need a tree, do we? Oh, we do. I suppose he's going to operate on it. We don't need anything in it. Okay. Yeah, I think that's our create person view. Yeah, that would be a good validation, wouldn't it? So name is not empty. Well, that condition is kind of tricky, right? It sounds like a domain concept, right? We should be able to ask a month, year, is this less than you? And if it's unspecified, if it's nil, then no, it's not less. But if it is less, it's less. Or if you're unspecified, then no, it's not. Okay. So yeah, let's do that. Whoops. Month year. And then did we create a test for that yet? No, we didn't. Okay, so let's make a test. A month year. All right, so we're going to use our new framework, testable import Fiume and import testing. Make a struct. See if I can get this all right. A month year. Oh man, is this thing not in my test package? Wow. Why is that no longer defaulting? I bumped something somewhere, I think. It's not a behavior. Is it a text editing thing? I know I had this problem when I had projects with multiple targets, multiple language targets, or multiple platform targets. No, I don't see anything that makes it sound like that. Maybe it's a change in Xcode that I have to start watching this stuff. Okay, and so we want to say, well, function less than just say A of a month year, B of a month year returns bool. Well, no, this is the stub I want. And it's operator, not func. Okay, but not what I don't need here. I'll look up that syntax later. Oh, this is a month year. Oh, no wonder I'm screwed up. Okay. I want month year, we'll get this. But something like that, it's wrong. Okay, but what we're going to do is we're going to create tests nil less than anything. No. This seems a little fraught. Because if it's nil, right, there's no object that it can be on. I don't know. This is making me wonder, like, month, year, in our context, we have it optional. Here, we're saying there always is a month, there always is a year. I guess that's just the way that is. So it's not... We're going to have to make sure that we don't test that operator unless it's got an option for that. Okay, so function, let's see. The situation is a month year is less if its year is less. I think that's a true thing. Okay. Let A equal a month year, month 3 year 199. Well, let's get it 2000. Make it very different. We'll make the month greater and the year smaller. Okay. Is that true? Okay, yeah, we don't have the operator. All right. Swift. If you do it. Funk star. That doesn't seem right. No, there's a phrase for it. It's not sortable. Swift protocol for sorting. Comparable. Okay, I just need to make it comparable. We'll make an extension. Okay, function. All right, so my test, let's just return true. All right, let's get both ways. What? Pound expect. Import testing, at test, pound expect. Import testing, at test, pound expect. He doesn't need parens, does he? Apparently. Okay, it's a kind of function, I guess. Yeah, comparable. I think it'll do equatable already. By default, structs get equatable if their contents are equatable, and we're doing 2 ints, so it should be fine. Okay, is it less if the year is less? All right. Well, does this work? All right, run tests. Okay, good. So A greater than or equal to B failed. 2000. It won't be hard to go to the answer, so one of them's going to fail. All right. So return left dot year less than right dot year. And we're going to add to that, so I'm not going to worry about that implicit closure. I think these two will pass, but this is really compares year if one is less. Compares month if years are equal. Let's go back forward a few years. Okay, so we expect A is less than B. And then B, well, B is greater than A. This one, A is really greater. We don't have to worry about equal yet. Okay, and that test should fail. Then we'll do one for equality. Passes. That seems wrong. If A is month 3 in year 2020 and B is month 5, we expect A less than B, but we're only comparing the year. If left.year is right, less than right.year returns true. Wait a minute. I didn't mark it test. And Swiftlet doesn't know enough to say like, oh, you forgot to, it should be private if it's going to be a not a test. That's better. Why is that? B greater than A. So I expect the first one to fail and the second one to pass. A less than or equal to B. Oh, yeah, no, it doesn't. Okay, so B greater than A, because it's comparable, it provides us this. So it's really testing A less than or equal to B, and it's not when their years are equal. Yeah. Okay, so I think we can. It wasn't the failure I was expecting, but it is the failure that I should have been expecting. Okay, if left.year equals right.year, return left.month less than right.month. So if the years are equal, compare the months. Otherwise, compare the years. If the years are different, decide which year is different. Okay, I think that's it. And then this test should just already pass because equals is built in, but let's add it anyway. Is same if month and year are the same. A equals itself, but not equal to B. Likely a mistake. Well, it's not. I don't know if this will get rid of the warning. Finding out they're different, that would be a mistake. Maybe I'll wrap them both just to kind of emphasize that. No, I guess I won't. So it's actually clever, right? This expect is a big macro, and it's got a built-in rule that says if you are exactly the same thing, then put out a warning. But if I put parentheses on one side and no parentheses on the other, they're a little different structure. And so it's willing to run the test. Now this equals, right? A is a value object, so we're running the built-in equals. So I don't know, but I'm happy to have the test. All right, so make month year no or be comparable. Okay, given that, we're kind of ready to validate again. All right, so this other condition, if born is nil, well, it's really and then the three possibilities, born is nil, or died is nil. Okay, if either of those is nil, then we don't have to worry about this comparison idea. But, or born is less or equal to died. I mean, it's a little weird. The equals there is a little weird. Is that going to matter in our application? I mean, if you're assessing retirement, it's not going to make a difference. I guess that is kind of what it is. If you really had, yeah, if your child was born, you know, died the day they were born, you'd have to put in a day later or something to do that. But I guess if they didn't live a month, well, I'll let them do it. I mean, it does happen. Okay. So let's run the preview. I think it'll enforce this enough for us. It checks for is empty. Now, well, it's not going to say anything. That's the problem. Okay. If we say the born, let's just take this case. Well, let's make this. April, the button went away. We need a warning. Okay. So labeled content. Here you get the warning in the cell. Yeah, if you don't care when someone was born. Well, it's a little weird. In a way, you should be able to say what that is, you know. All right, but the immediate concern I have is you get a message here, but I think we need to add one down the bottom now. This is date born must precede date died. And it's disabled when well, let's extract this. Probably help our readability a little anyway. Born is nil, or died is nil, or born as lesser who died. Now, why are you on? If born is nil, what's going on? It's disabled if valid dates. Oh, it's not disabled, it's hidden. Oh. Do I need the space? Is that acceptable? Yeah, so I don't know what to do. The real thing is you're going to come in here at some point. Maybe we don't do it this way. So, well, what I want to happen is I want to run scenarios and I want to change the date somebody died and pretend they died 2025. What would happen? But maybe we just set this. So I think maybe you were suggesting this yesterday, Mudshark. Maybe setting the people is a little separate section or a little something separate that happens. We always kind of want something. And then if you had that in a separate area, you could change that date. That dates. I mean, you don't need to change born so much, but you got to set it at some point. All right, but at any rate, I think we've got the validation we want. I think it's okay to have a little space before the create. There's probably a way to do this. I forget how you set hidden. There is a way to just like totally make it gone. Visible? Visibility. Is hidden. Yeah, see, unfortunately, hidden in a normal world, in Bill world, this would take a Boolean, just like opacity or just like disabled. because you want to conditionally hide stuff, and jumping through hoops like this is kind of unfortunate. So, I mean, this function would work for us, but all right. Okay, so I think we have the validation we want. Now we need a facility to create these things. And at least for now, well, let's run the app and see how we want to fit it. Add a frame to the text and set the height to 0. Yeah, that would work. Let's see if we can see how this looks in use. So this would be, people or something, and have its own little plus box and let you change the people. All right, so now we've got person, name is required. Bob. And we know he was born in 91. November 91. Okay. And if he died in 97, why aren't you complaining? All right. Well, that's something that makes me suspicious. There we go. But on the other hand, we aren't doing anything yet, so that's probably part of it. No, I'm suspicious. I don't see why that would not. Let's get you on a closer screen. Okay, if I do person and I put their name, all right, their birth date, and their death date. They died in 1979. Oh, okay. Oh, I think I left it. It's only if I let go. Okay. All right, so now what can happen? Well, I think we want to, I don't know, I think maybe a little section like that would be a good thing. I don't know if we want to restrict it to 2 people. Like, the scenarios get complicated. Okay, if you're divorced, I forget, there are rules around if you're divorced, and like at some point, if you, like maybe if you were married 10 or more years, you get divorced and you remarry, and both your spouse and your ex-spouse have Social Security that's really good, better than yours, I think you can choose which one you want. And so you got 3 people and their Social Security involved. I could imagine maybe we're doing planning for college and you've got, well, I'm from a family of 5 kids, We didn't all go to college at once, but there were at least 3 of us in there at once. If you're Mormon, yeah, I guess you might have a situation. Yeah. Okay. So that convinces me I just don't need to enforce something. I mean, most of the time you're either solo or you're married, and occasionally you might have a situation with multiple people. But like if your ex-spouse money is higher than your current spouse, Yeah, I guess that is going to be three people involved because you might take the ex-spouse Social Security and your new husband might take their own stuff, and so you'd have different ones adding in there. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, do I want a person category? But the thing is, well, no. My assumption was you would go through and just like we override amounts and starting dates and ending dates, you could override the death date. But I think the scenarios, it's more like you would set up all these complicated scenarios about Social Security, say, and then you would take somebody and assume what if they died at this point. Then you would probably want to know, how does this affect all these plans, right? Because like we set up the 4 or 8 or 9 combinations, and some of those look really good. Oh, you make a fortune if you wait till you're 70 to start. Well, what if you died at 69? Okay. And then, all of a sudden something else would look better if you were doing that. And maybe you'd be worse off if you assumed you'd live till 70, but you only live till 67. What would that do to your spouse that was left if you died? Okay. Vice versa. Okay. So I don't think we need to make scenarios where in this scenario you die at a certain age and the other one you die at a different age. That sounds a little contrived. I mean, I think normally the robustest is you want to take, here's these plans I'm considering, which ones are best if I live to 95, which ones are good if I live till 65, what about in the middle? And you're just going to change the one thing. Yeah, I think that's part of the what if. Okay, so let's go back here. Let me get content view up. Content view. Well, that's plan list view. So what I'm saying is we're going to have a people view, and we don't have person yet, I don't think. No. Okay. So what we want is a set of people, potentially a list of people, and the control we just saw, we won't put it on the page with the others. We'll make its own page. But that's okay. Well, what's the behavior, right, to drive this? I don't think there is one at this point, other than like we're tracking the people and we're tracking their death date, their birth date or whatever. But we haven't added anything to depend on age, which is where we're going. But I think it would be helpful to have the spouse list or the family list, the people. Okay, so from the function side, oh, I did have person. I don't think they do much. Name, birth, death. Okay. Well, we've left this optional. Yeah, a person is like a scenario. Well, no, they're not a scenario. They're more like a stream in a way. I mean, they're sort of a factor that affects a scenario. But I think if we take the way I'm thinking about and we make a separate list of people, then those people, we're not changing them per se, but in the scenario, we're going to say things like stop paying Social Security if this person dies. And their death date may or may not be active yet. And if it's not, then we continue arbitrarily long. But if they, if they hypothetically set it to 72, we'll follow that guidance. And so it affects, I think it'll affect when we generate the scenario. But for now, we have the most boring little thing, I think, is just track the list of people with their birth dates and death dates. And I don't know, maybe this should not be optional. Maybe our control needs to be more flexible. All right. Let's see. So we have person, and I don't know if I want to call this family. Is the group of people we're looking at? They're kind of family. And here's possibilities. It's that and tree, but we don't need that. We just need a list. Okay, so I'm going to make a family. And basically I'm wrapping a collection like I would do anyway. Okay. Struct family is bar people I think that's all that is. Where's possibilities again? Well, he's a class. I guess, yeah, we'll make him an observable thing. Okay, let's do that. Okay. So the behavior is pretty minimal. I think we're just going to say there is a family, and content view will know it. Okay, somewhere. Well, no, it's actually an app, I think. Okay. Yeah. So now content view. Okay, and I made a family view that doesn't exist. Yeah, well, we need bindable family, I guess, just like that. Is that going to do it? Okay. Nope. Right. Okay, so there's the family in there. Now, I don't know if they should be in a scenario. I mean, if they should be in a list. I want to give them a section with another list like this. Let's see what we do for this one. Plan list view. Right. Yeah. I mean, it is going to be this kind of thing. All right. Well, a list, but not an outline. Let's take a break, 3 or 4 minutes. We'll come back and at least, I guess we can display the family, and I'm not sure what gives them the plus sign there, but we need to make sure that happens too. So you can add one, and we'll modify the family view. Sorry, the person view, create person view. We'll use that, but we won't need the plan to make it work. We'll need the family. Okay, so take a break. All right, so we've said there will be a family view. It's going to look a lot like plan list view, right? We're going to have a list, and we're going to have a for each. I don't know if the sections are in the for each or outside the for each, but we're going to need those. Okay, so family view. All right, so a list and a section. What's plan tree view? I forget how we got the icon there. Plan compulsive view. Oh yeah. Okay. Where's the section? Here it is. Header colon something. Well, no, it's for each family dot people. All right, we can do that. I should at least make a family with one person in it, but we'll see what happens. Okay, nothing. All right, well, let's make a section. Oh, section can just be content. All right, so this is image. System name. And then we just need one we like from here. I want one of these with multiple people. I think there's one with 2 or 3. Person.2.fill. And then we need an accessibility label. how do we get that button in? I think it's on the here. Right. Spacer. Oh, there's a way to get no text. Label. Well, that looks like the easy way. Button, action, label, colon. Button. Action, label, colon. Is that going braces? Yep. That's more like it. Now we probably should I guess we want to put the born. Right. Well, in a way, that's as far as we can go without doing it. But that looks okay. Let's see it on the big setup. And what we're going to do, accessibility label. I don't like that. I don't like those lists looking different like that for no reason. And I don't want this one 50%. Well, that's a lot of stuff in this section too. Is var okay? Now, I don't know why this list does not resemble this one. I guess I got to look at it. Look at how they're different. Right, this one has the section in the for each. The for each is actually the sections. And the body of it is the list of children. I don't know if that explains it or not. I don't think it's got to be my biggest priority at this point. Oh, is it? Plan list view. I don't think so. It's all in a navigation stack, but we're both peers. What is it to... There's something to make your minimum... Look, I just want to take as much size as I need. I don't want to take more. Minimum scale factor? You add something to it that takes infinity space. This is more about the font. It's kind of the right question. Well, is that the kind of thing that's going to do it? Except max height. Yeah, that's the spacer. Yeah, I can do fixed. That does that do anything? Oh yeah, it's a little too fixed. Why is your natural size nothing? Golly. Dot frame. Mm-hmm. I don't think this is going to do it, but let's dot infinity. I don't think I'm accomplishing anything with that. Maybe. I'm trying to do the opposite. Do I have to do a geometry reader? I don't know. This is vertical. Count 5, span 2. Spacing 4. Well, that's somewhat the balance. I still don't appreciate the look not being consistent. Maybe that's on me. I'll leave this as just kind of a placeholder for that. I don't want to get too stuck on that. All right, family view. Why are you so different? Okay, so this thing has list for each and then the section header. But I don't need it for each, but it's saying put the contents inside. Entry view. Where's the children? Plan composite view. I guess this is not managing that. All right. What about that? Kind of doing the same, isn't it? But that's not what I'm doing for the section. Header colon and then the stuff. That's it. Okay. That's more promising anyway. Still doesn't have the white space around it the way the other one does, but okay. So what we're going to do is when they click this plus button, we're going to show our create person view. So we need some state is showing create view is false. Okay. And then the button should turn that on. Now again, so here. Is that presented? Yeah, okay, sheet presented. Okay, now this should be taking a family, right? Oops. They want environment dismiss, yes. And then the create is going to do it. All right, and then the button, well, let's get another create. Should just make an instance, right? Yeah. Okay, so create a family, or create a person, and add them to the list. Close thing. Name. Birth is born. Is died. Oops. Create person view. We're going to take that out. Okay, so you no longer can create it in the other. Now maybe this should be just a button and show you this on its own screen or something. All right, but we should be able to create this person. Okay, so we'll got Alice born in 63, 62. The song is 63, right? And put her in February. Not dead. And Bob. They made all their money in royalties from using their names and security papers. Okay. Right. I think a little more about them would be good. But you don't need to know who your family is every time you're thinking about this. So, right. So let's take the next bit and make, let's display a little better here. So we display their birth date, born and died. And I think make a button. Let's make the button first. I guess that's more critical. All right. So this view, whoops. Try and close some things. Create person view. I think that's kind of okay. Person. Add plan view. But family view. Yeah. Okay. So I want this to be its own sheet with a sheet on top of it. All right, so content view, I'm going to have a button. Well, I guess we're going to have a state. At state bar is showing family. Starts out false. Now I don't need this stuff. Okay. So if we press the button, and I want to work on the look of the button, is going to be a little primitive too, but Right. That's okay. I think a little capsule button is probably what I want. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I'll worry about the color just yet. Apparently you do worry about it. Background color. That's pretty unbearable. I don't remember what I have in here. Accent color is not defined. Let me add a color. This is going to be theme dark. And its value. Red, green, blue. Is that too dark? And I want can I just say bold? Tan? Yeah, maybe that'd be better. I haven't really styled anything yet. I mean, honestly, I should maybe match this blue. Well, I don't want to get too hung up. I think that's tolerable. I'm not sure where it defaults to these blues. Oh, the person entries. Yeah, but I do want this button shoved to the left. Um, so let's put an H stack. And a spacer. That's the right word. Oops. Well, how do I get the space on the left? Yeah, okay. Huh. Yeah, move padding and background. So I think the first padding is giving me space around the button, which is probably a little too much. Yeah, maybe it wasn't a little too much. That looks better. All right. Okay, now the plus, I got another sheet on top of a sheet. If I cancel out of here, back one, back two, good. Okay. All right. And maybe we could show them and integrate it or something. I don't know. But I want to give the display, make that a little better. Well, let's commit this. We've done a lot. Okay, so we added person. No, we mostly added the family view. Okay, and so now the family view only shows the name, and I want to show more. Okay, so this should be an H stack. Okay, and Another quote here somewhere. Can I not do it that way? Can I write string to month year? Oh, yeah. I don't know, it's getting a little buried, isn't it? Yeah, we need to delete function anyway. I think we'll get there next week. But we do need to save it to local storage at some point. I want to use the Swift data stuff and see how that goes. It's a little different. All right, let's add birth. No. We need that. All right, there we go. Bob born, month, year. That's not right. Birth. Person named Bob. Oh, we need to make them custom string convertible, I guess. MonthYear. I think we have this somewhere already. And maybe we'll spell them out. Yeah. I don't know. It's a little. Oh, I like that. Maybe a little more space. Yeah. I'll go back to nil. Might be nice if they lined up. But that's okay. And that definitely gets us going on what we want on this. So let's run it. Okay. Yeah, well, let's stop here. Okay, good place. So, to do. Define a person creator, add people, allow dates to depend. That's kind of the next phase. But yeah, we basically got our people added in with all the stuff that's created. The big gap in my clarity on things, I just don't know if I don't know if these should allow, if month year should be a nullable thing, like we have unspecified and specify stuff. I just don't know if that's the path we should be going on instead of making things nullable. It's tricky to get this stuff right, and there's not a lot of help. I don't know. I've been watching the Bartosz Milewski's category theory stuff, and you start thinking about how am I wrapping things, and can I systematically wrap them so they'll combine with other things and all that. And this definitely doesn't reach that ideal. But getting people done, that's a good thing. And I'm going to see if I can ship that to my brother this weekend and have him take a look and just kind of see where we are with things. But I'm happy with where we got this week. So thanks for joining. I'll be back next week. It should be Monday through Thursday. I'm leaving towards the end of the week, but I should be there Thursday, I think. 2 to 4:30 Eastern Time daily and 6 to 8:30 p.m. UTC. Good to see you, Tooks. Good to see you, Mutchurk. And see you again sometime. Take care. Bye-bye.